Today we are solving equations with variables on both sides. Now I gave you a sheet that should have a list that we are going to go down in order of steps to follow. The first is distribute, then combine like terms, then get the variable on one side, then get rid of addition and subtraction, and then multiplication and division. So that's what we're going to follow here as well. We can't distribute, there's no parentheses in this one. So we're going to combine our like terms, the ones on the same side. We can't combine this 4a with these yet because it's on the other side of our wall or our line. So 5a plus 2a is 7a. Then it just says minus 3 equals 4a plus 9. Then we need to get our variable on one side. I would pick the side where there's more, so move the one that's less so everything stays positive. This whole thing I need to move, and right now it's a positive, so the opposite would be to subtract 4a. Subtract 4a. Put it under the other a's because you can't combine that with a 3. 7 minus 4a is 3a. Minus 3 equals 9. And then our next step, variable on one side, we did that. Now we're going to get rid of addition and subtraction. So the opposite of subtracting 3 is adding 3. So we have 3a equals 12. And then last, get rid of your multiplication or division. This is multiplied, so we need to divide by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Same thing over here, except this time we do have to distribute. There are parentheses, so if you can do this without drawing a box, that's fine. 7 minus 2p on the top, 6 in front. Same thing here, 3, and then we have 5p minus 4. So when we multiply, 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12 with the p. So we have 42 minus 12p equals 3 times 5 is 15p, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So next, we can't combine any like terms because there aren't any on the same side, but we can move them so that they're on one side. There's more positives here, so I'm going to move the one that's more negative. This negative 12p, I'm going to do the opposite and add 12p. So we have 42, and then this gives us 27p minus 12. Then on to getting rid of addition and subtraction. The opposite of subtracting 12 is adding 12. So add these up, this gives us 54 equals 27p. And our last step, the opposite of multiplying, is divide. That makes 1. So simplifying this, 54 divided by 27, that's when I'd probably plug in my calculator. It is 2. Well, let's keep going. These ones, draw your line down, solve the same way. If you want to multiply without using a box, that's fine. 5 times n is 5n. 5 times 2 is 10. Same thing over here. 3/5 times 5. Well, 3/5 times 5. 5 is really 5 over 1. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So those multiplied to give us 3. Then 3/5 times 10n. Well, 3/5 times 10. 10 is really 10 over 1. That gives us 30 over 5. Well, 30 divided by 5 is 6. So 6n. If you'd prefer to plug that in your calculator, that's fine. Then we need to get all of our letters on the same side. There's more here, so let's move the one that's smaller. Subtract 5n. Those are gone. We have 10 equals 3 minus 1n. Oops, not 1. Plus 1. 6 minus 5 is a positive 1. And then we need all the numbers on the same side, so we're going to subtract 3. 10 minus 3 is 7, and we have 1n, or just n. If we divide by 1, 7 divided by 1 is still 7. Alright, next, we see parentheses here. I'm going to have to distribute or multiply those. If you want to do it like this, that's fine. 2 times 2a is 4a. 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm going to rewrite this. We have 10 plus 4a plus 2 equals 7a minus 3. Now we need all the letters on the same side, but before we do that, we can combine our like terms here. 10 plus 2 is 12, so we really have 12 plus 4a. Now let's get all of our letters on the same side. This one's smaller, so I'm going to move that. The opposite of positive would be subtract. So we have 12. 7 minus 4 is going to give us 3a. And there's a negative 3 there. Then to get a by itself, the opposite of subtracting 3 would be adding 3. So those are eliminated. 12 plus 3 is 15. And then last, the opposite of multiply is divide. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So a equals 5. Now there's a couple more situations here that we have to deal with. All the ones we've solved so far have one solution, meaning that you have some letter like x equal to a number like 5. But we might have some that we solve that are going to have no solution, meaning we solve it and the x's are gone, they eliminated each other out, and you'd have like 5 equals 0. Well, 5 is never going to equal 0, so that would be no solution. And then our third answer is all real numbers. That would be if we end up with like 8 equals 8. It's the same number on both sides. Another way to write all real numbers is 2 lines that make an R. So it's an R with an extra line in the middle. And here in this box it says an identity. Identity is an equation that is true for all values of the variable of the letter. The solution of an identity is all real numbers, like we said. So, like looking in the mirror, 8 would look in the mirror and see 8. 4 would look in the mirror and see 4. If it's the same on both sides, you can say all real numbers or identity. So let's solve this one. Before we get them on the same side, we can combine our like terms, 7c and a negative 15c. There's more negatives, there's 8 more negatives, so it's a negative 8c. Plus 1 equals 3 minus 8c. Now neither one of these 8c's are smaller, so do the opposite of what you see. Subtract, so we're going to add 8c. 8 minus 8 is 0, so the c's are gone, and we have 1. These c's are gone, we have 3. Well, 1 does not equal 3, so this would be no solution. Right there in the middle. Alright, let's do this next one. I'm going to distribute this without drawing a box. 2 times 3 is 6g. 2 times 2 is 4. Then on this side, half of 12 is 6g, and half of 8 is 4. So we need to get all the letters on the same side. This is 6g, this is 6g. Neither one is smaller. So I'm going to move this one, it doesn't matter. The opposite of a positive would be subtracting. Those eliminate, and we have 4 equals 4. Well, 4 is always going to equal 4, so this is what we call an identity, or all real numbers. Let's try a couple more like this. Draw your line down. Same thing, this one just has fractions, or not fractions, decimals. 6.2h and a negative 1.4. Well, 6.2 minus 1.4 would be 8, would be 7.8h. Oh my gosh, I can't. 6, 5, 4.8. You can use your calculator if you would like. 4.8h plus 5 equals 4.8h plus 5. So 4.8h's are the same, so if I do the opposite of what I see, those eliminate, make 0, it's not h, it's gone. And we have 5 equals 5. Well, 5 is always going to equal 5. This is an all real numbers, or an identity. Next, we have letters on both sides. Move the one that's smaller. Well, 5a is smaller, so let's subtract 5a. 16 minus 5 is 11a equals 22. And then the opposite of multiply is divide. We get a equals 22 divided by 11 should give us 2. So this one would be one solution. Alright, next we have a word problem. It says, for $360, a rock climbing gym offers a yearly membership where members can climb as many days as they want and pay $4 per day for rental equipment rental. Non-members pay $10 per day to use the gym and $6 per day for equipment rental. So it says, part A here, write an equation. Write an equation to find the number of visits, after which the total cost for a member and the total cost for a non-member are the same. Another word for same is when they are equal, and then solve it. So I'm going to set up the cost for a member equal to the cost of a non-member. Well, to be a member, it says it's going to cost you $360 one time for the year. But each time you come in, it's also going to cost you $4 per day to rent equipment. So 4 multiplied by the number of days, because we don't know how many days we're going to come in. But then a non-member, they have to pay $10 every day just to come into the gym, 10 times the number of days, plus $6 times the number of days they come in. So let's solve this. We can combine our like terms first. 10 plus 6 is 16d. Now we need all the letters on the same side. I'm going to subtract 4d to move this to the other side. We have 360. And then 16 minus 4 is 12d. And then last, the opposite of multiplying is divide. 12 goes into 36 3 times, and there's a 0 there. So d would be 30 days. After 30 days, the cost for a member and the cost of a non-member would be the same. So if you go more than 30 days, this would not be a good deal because you're going to end up paying really $16 extra per day. Or if you go more than 30 days here, it'll only cost you $4 per day. Alright, a couple more. I think these are the last two. Yep. Let's solve these. We need all the letters on the same side. This one's smaller, so I'm going to move it to be with the other 8. So I'm going to subtract 7w. Eliminated, we have 1 equals 7 minus 8, or 8 minus 7 is 1w plus 1. We need the w by itself. Get rid of your addition and subtraction first. I'm going to subtract 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then last, the opposite of multiplying by 1 is divide. 0 divided by anything is still 0. So w would be 0. Last one here. Let's distribute this. 4 times 2y is 8y. 4 times 1 is 4. So if 8y equals 8y plus 4, if I subtract my 8y's to get rid of them, they both eliminate. This leaves me with nothing. This leaves me with 4. Well, 0 is not going to equal 4, so this would be no solution. Alright, your homework is out of the book. Go ahead and get started.